Okay, so we're in Judges, and chapter 2, verse 19. It says, Vayab b'mot shofet, when the shofet, and it was when the shofet would die, Yashuvu, they would return, v'hishchitu me'avotam, and they would cause themselves to be removed, or cause themselves to be cut off from, that's better, actually, cause themselves to be cut off from their fathers. I don't know how they're translating that, but it's dealt more corruptly than the fathers. Okay, fine. L'lechet achrei Elohim acherim, to go after other gods, la'avdam, to serve them, u'lehishachavot lahem, and to bow down to them, lo hipilu mima'al lehem, and they did not turn away from their folly, or their stubborn, no, they did not diminish their practices. Umidarkam akasha or, and they did not turn away from their harsh ways. So again, it says stubborn way. Interesting they would say that. Okay. So Rashi is, first of all, any questions from you?
What does it mean? The judge died. Would that be the particular judge who was at that time?
Right, whichever judge died. Correct.
Why would it say to follow the gods, and then to worship them, and then to prostrate themselves? Why is that for emphasis? Or
no, that's one. They would first do one, then the other. They would each time the Malbim already said each time they would go deeper. In other words, they hit one level. They're at that level, they feel comfortable, go next level. When nobody goes from 0 to 60 unless you're a car in 6 seconds. It takes time for everybody to go to a different level because you have to be comfortable at that level. So once I'm comfortable at that level, now I say, okay, so I've tried that, I can go a little further. Think about when you're going into water. By the way, when you're going to swim, you go into the ocean. So first you put your toes in the water. Well, you don't, unless you're a child, you don't jump in the water. You don't just run and jump, right? As an adult, you know, because the first time you did that as a child, when you went, whoa! Got that shock to your system. But so now as an adult, or as even an older child, you walk in, and you let your feet get a little used to the water, then your ankles, then your legs, and you move in slowly, correct? So the same thing here. We had to get our feet wet. So you're seeing stages of what they would do. First they would follow after them, and so on and so forth. We'll see what he says. We'll see what the Malbim says about that. But he covered it before in saying that it was a movement in stages. That's what the Torah. That's what the Tanakh is telling us. And so it says that they also didn't turn away from their bad actions. They did not diminish. They did not diminish from their practice. It says, "Lo inichu davar liyot nochachem al kol seva alehem." They didn't leave from the thing that they were doing, regardless of what happened to them, what came upon them. So even when Hashem would punish them in some way, or they would see by having the enemy come upon them, they refused to turn around, to turn away from that. And then it says also, "V'lo b'mot hashofet." He's asking you a question, I believe. Which was David. He says, "Gam tshuva hahi." All this teshuva. Lo haita ki em mitoch chod hashofet. So the as soon as David asked you a question, Mr. Arnstein, he says, why does it say hashofet? And then, so he's saying that this teshuvah that they caused the people to do was not a real teshuvah. It was only because of the reproof of the shofet. And so, miyad shemait v'einenu lo chicham, and from the time that person died, and there was nobody now to reproof them, shavu. So they would return, v'hishchitu darkam, and they would again cause their ways to be destroyed. Me'ein darkei avotam, similar to the ways of their fathers. She'areu la'asot terem amada shofetahu. So that did bad, that caused bad to be done before the shofet would arise. So again, the shofet is any shofet, like I said. But what Metzudas David is emphasizing is that when the shofet would die, again, I said this maybe 2 weeks ago, last week, the people did not internalize what was wrong. So if you don't internalize it, then you're not going to maintain it once the problem is, once the person bothering you is gone. So, for instance, you're driving on the highway. I love these things because we all do it. You drive on the highway, the speed limit is 70 miles an hour, which means for us 79, 80, 85, whatever, 90, whatever you can go. Okay. So now what happens is you see the police officer, boom, right down to 60, 70, 69, no problem. Once the police officer is out of your range, you engage your what's it called? The cruise control, which brings you back up to speeding speed, and you go on your merry way. Okay, that's how people do it. We slow down for the cop, and when the cop is no longer in our vision, doesn't mean we're not in his radar, but he's no longer in our vision. We assume the radar is no longer there, and we re-engage in our foolish behavior. Okay, same thing here. When the prophet was no longer there to reproof them, when they were no longer afraid of the prophet, so we ran into those headaches. You know, we're talking about the current political situation with ISIS and everything else. If we follow the logic of Tanakh for a second, I'm not saying these people are, well, maybe they are, who knows. But it's everything is run by God. And what does God want from us? To do tshuva. What's tshuva? To return to God, to return to the Torah, and to do what we should be doing, and not what we think is best for us. But we should do what God told us is best for us, namely to follow the law. So God gives us a wake-up call. And what happens is, we had a couple of years ago, last year, not even a couple of years ago, I think it was last year already, when the war was attacking, right? That was last year that we had the rally. Was it last year or 2 years ago already? I forget already. How many years? Every year it's the same as
Gaza war, you mean?
Yeah, it was last year. Or
Here was...
no, it was two summers ago.
Yeah, summer ago, last year, not this year.
Last summer. So last summer, everybody got together. The Federation, the Midwest Torah. It was unbelievable. The sea of people of all different religious levels that got together at the Federation, and we all gave our little speeches. And I said to God, we're all here, we're all united. What else do you want from us? And what happens the next day, quote unquote, the next day when the war's over? We all go back to our little corners. So what God would say to me is, I want that to continue. That brotherhood that you experienced. And you yelled, what do you want from me now? I want that. I don't want just to be when I forced you into it. I want to be forever. You're a family. Stay together. Keep in touch with everybody. Love each other. Bring each other together. Not just when I force you into this. Okay? So that would be maybe why we have to go continually. It's the same pattern over and over and over. And nobody gets this. It's the same pattern continually. ISIS, ISIL, Schmeisel, it has no power. The KKK has no power. They have power to hurt us. Yeah, fine. But they have no power, no real power. It's only God who has power. God controls the whole system. He puts all the players in place and allows some people to rise, some people to fall. Look at the Michigan Ahmadinejad. He was on the top of the world. Where is he now? In hell. He's in hell, basically. He has no power. You don't hear about the guy, thank God. You don't hear about him. Once in a while, he denies the Holocaust again. He's like the guy. He's like the priest who keeps telling me that Jesus is coming. Okay, but he's a clown at this point. He's not even in the political scene, and that's because God brought him up, put him down. That's the end of it. God does that. He brings up these enemies. Hitler, Yamach Shemo. He was brought up to the top. Then he did some stupid mistakes, according to history. God said, it's enough. I don't want you anymore. Boom, you're down. Not enough to down, but you kill yourself too. No. He killed himself in the bunker, they say. Who knows? Nobody's there to see it. Nobody's there to witness it. But assuming he committed suicide. Okay, and think about that. Your great political leader committed suicide. He took the coward's way out. Yeah. So, it's the coward's way out. And so here he was, at the top of the world, the emperor. Nothing. Okay, that's what God does. He brings you up and puts you down. But what's the purpose? To make us repent. That's what we keep seeing. Now, do we see that today? Do we start repenting today? The answer is no. Nobody's repenting. Maybe a couple of people. But for the most part, nobody's repenting. People are yelling at everybody else, you need to repent. I always want to say, first do it yourself, then tell me about it. Don't tell me I need to repent. You repent, and if I see it's working for you, maybe I'll follow suit. Maybe, show me the way. Lead me on. But that's what's going on here. That's what he's saying. The day of the shofet, they were there. They were reproofing them. They were telling them off. They had a role model. While they were there, everything was fine. The minute they died, nobody's there anymore. So now they all go back to their own corners. They all do what they're doing, and that's the end of it. Okay, that's how the Mesilas Yesharim is looking at them. Okay, now the Malbim, he says like this. He says, Vaya, not saying he disagrees with anybody, but let's go. Vaya b'mod hashofet, it was in the days of the shofet, and the people returned, and they corrupted their ways more than their fathers. Zaya siba, this is the reason. Sha'acham od hashofet nitnu lev levaz ulamasa. After the shofet died, after the judge died, they took their what do you call it? The buzz, the spoils, and they went. In other words, again, we see this concept many times that when they become rich, when you become fat, you become satisfied, and then you rebel against God. While people are poor, they never rebel. They may ask God. They have a lot of conversations with God. They're poor. Say, God, why can't? Well, would it hurt some eternal plan if I was a rich man? They ought to do all these sort of things, but they're not saying, I don't believe you exist. By the way, that's also a statement. I don't believe you exist, which means, what are you talking to? That's why I always said, I don't get the atheist. I know you don't exist. Okay. I don't get it. Sorry. I know you don't exist. See, I'm not like these other guys on the internet who rip into the atheists with reason after reason after reason. I just look at the stupid argument. I know you don't exist, which means, well, I'm talking to the ear. Okay. We need to have a talk even though you don't exist. Okay. So, I don't know. I'll have a debate with you. Okay. But it makes no sense. So now, Chav. It says, Vayicharav Hashem b'Yisrael. So, Israel became angry. God became angry at Israel. Vayomer, and it says, Ya'an, Asher Avru Hagoy Hazeh, because this nation, now this is very interesting. This nation that they have transgressed, grammatically it doesn't work. You hear what I'm saying? I want you to look at the grammar. Okay? Ya'an, he said, because, Vayomer, he said, God said, Ya'an, because, Asher Avru, that they have transgressed. Hagoy Hazeh, this nation. It should have been Hagoy Hazeh, Avar, Asher Avar Hagoy Hazeh. The nation is singular. But it says that they have transgressed. Who has transgressed? This nation. Et briti, my covenant, ashetziviti et avotam, that I commanded their fathers, v'lo shamu l'koli, and they did not listen to my voice. Besides what I picked on, any other questions? I'm just pointing out an interesting thing.
How do you explain that grammar?
I don't, not yet. No, I pointed out to you. I want to. It's good. I point something. Certain things I'm going to point out to you before I answer them. What else? Anything else?
So this nation has. He said, I commanded their forefathers.
Right.
And have not obeyed me.
No, it's this commandment. This nation's transgressed my covenant that I commanded their forefathers.
Which I gave to their commanded their forefathers. And
yeah. So what's the question there? You have a question, so let me hear it.
I don't know. I guess the assumption is, if God commanded their forefathers, that all the descendants are therefore still are also liable for these commandments.
The question be why, right? The question
why does he just say you?
Correct. Why not just say you? Correct. Anything else?
Also, the way it's translated here, he would say, because this nation.
They say he would say?
Why does it say he would say? Why wouldn't it say he said?
I can't answer. We'll see. I don't know if everybody's going to answer that particular question. I'll tell you why. Because of the first sentence. And it was, when the shofet would die, the people would transgress, God would become angry, and he would say. It's just nice grammar. Nice English grammar. Following the pattern. It's not happening right now. Okay? So that would be why Art Scroll. That's an Art Scroll translation?
Says
yes.
that you would,
okay. He would. Right.
Because it says he said.
Right. It depends on which translation.
Huh. Right. Interesting.
Okay, anything else? If not, we'll go on. So it says like this. That was Chaf. So the Malbim states, he's looking at Vayichar. Achar shehiktim hakdama, after we had this preface, as it were, from verse 11, ad haina until here. Shav lama shayim v'pasuk yud. So now we're going to go back to where the verse 10 ended. Now verse 10 was saying, also that generation gathered to their fathers, and the next generation another generation arose after them that did not know Hashem, and also the actions that Hashem did to Israel. So now he's saying this is where we pick up. Okay. So therefore, since they didn't know, or they made themselves as if they did not know what Hashem did, Hashem got angry at Israel. After Hashem saw that they became lessened from their trust in Hashem, Hashem became angry at those generations. And he said, because they have transgressed my covenant. They did not listen to my voice. And before it said, and where it says, you did not listen to my voice. Shemiya bakol hu kabbalat hapakuda. What does it mean to listen to his voice? It means acceptance of the command, of what Hashem wanted. Or devarim mitzad atzmam, or of the matter from the side of themselves. Ushmiya lakol, while shmiya lakol, so we're looking at a bit kol versus lit kol. Hearing in the voice versus hearing to the voice. Okay?
I'm over Torah, right?
So shmiya bakol is again where I accept what was the order that was presented. Shemiya l'kol is sheyishma hatana v'haraya mitzad ha'seichel. When I'm listening to the voice, it means that you're hearing the claim and the proof from the side of intelligence. One is I accept the order. Okay? You understand? When I say shema bikoli, listen in my voice, it means accept my command. Don't start arguing on me. Don't ask me for explanations. Shema b'koli. Okay? Then, but if I say Shema l'koli, listen to my voice, hear what I'm telling you. It's an intelligent thing I'm telling you. You can figure this out. I want you to hear my claim. I want you to understand it. So when the police officer pulls you over and says, why were you speeding? You say, officer, Shema Likoli, hear my argument. You don't have to accept it, but you have to at least listen to it, right? So that's what he's trying to say. Kamo Shema Likol Yerive, okay, so Hakshiva Likol Shofar, listen to the voice of the shofar, to the claims that they have, ve'edut shofar, and to the testimony of the shofar. Shemora parodia, protects against bad things happening to us. Umosif, and it adds shalosamu lev l'shmo mitzadetayna mofed. So what we're adding is they didn't even put their minds, their hearts, to listen from the side of a claim and the wonders. So they weren't even giving to listen to the voice, Shema Likoli. In other words, you don't want to accept the commandment, Shema Bikoli. You don't want to do that because nobody likes commands. You don't like to do that. At least Shema Likoli. Listen to what was going on. Listen to the logic.
So Bikoli, at least you heard it.
No, Shema Bikoli is accept the command. Clean your room. Why? Now. Shema Bikoli.
But they were listening. They heard it.
Oh, no. He wants to say Shema Bikoli means when you accept. Shema doesn't only just mean hear. It can mean listen, it can mean hear. But he's saying, he's using a term. He's saying, what's the difference between the words Shema Bikoli versus Shema Likoli? Okay, one is hear in my voice. The other one is hear to my, or listen to my voice. Listen in my voice, listen to my voice. So when it's listen in Bikoli, that means accept it. Just accept it. There's no argument here. Just accept it. Shema Likoli would be listen to the claim. Listen to the claim. It's all seichel here. It's all, you have to use your intelligence. And he said the fact that you're nobody's here to tell you anymore. Their generation died away, and all you have is emunah. All we have is trust of what happens. We have no proof for anything. Okay. And by the way, that is anything. I can read history all day long. There's no proof to anything in history.
There's nobody left anymore.
There's nobody left to talk. I know something happened in World War II. I know something happened. I have people we still have people, let's make the Civil War. I know something happened in the Civil War, because nobody around from the Civil War anymore, right? I think everybody died from the Civil War. No, I think everybody's dead from the Civil War. There was somebody who lived till 101 or something, whatever it was. But I think everybody's dead. So Civil War. Yeah. We only know what the victors told us. If you listen to the South, they have a little bit of change of story there as to what really happened. Again, go down south. Go to the rebels who still fly their flag. They still haven't lost the war. They're still fighting the war. Okay, so the war isn't over yet. But they have their side of the story. We have our side of the story. And somewhere in the middle, you have the truth. Okay? But we don't know it. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if kids today know what the Civil War is or what it was about. I would greatly question that. If kids today in school, teenagers, would know anything about the Civil War, never mind the First World, never mind the Second World War, and certainly not the CNN war with Bush, and even the latest war on terrorism, which has been fighting since Bush second anyway, Bush first, second, and now Clinton. What's his name? Obama, Clinton, Paul Clinton. Okay, I threw Bill under the bus one more time. Okay, but you have all these people. I don't know when anybody knows what the wars are about. But the point is, we who didn't live through it only can accept what's written. And when we see other things that contradict that, we have to make a decision as to who's right and who is wrong. There's no proof one way or another. You have dead bodies. That's all you have. There's no proof as to what was really going on, unless I find papers. And by the way, if I find papers, I'll just simply say that they were forged. It's really not hard if I want to do what do they call it, conspiracy theory? Conspiracy theory. It's not hard. I can throw any religion on its head, including my own, if I'm willing to accept that. Conspiracy theory, or 4 different writers, or whatever, or 6 different writers now. I think they have 6 different writers. They have a Q source from something in the Christian scriptures. I don't know what the Q is for, but they have something correct. That's what it's correct.
Quell.
Was it? No.
It's for Quelle.
Quelle? Okay.
The source document.
Okay, there you go. I was thinking of the other one, not Quran, but this Dead Sea Scrolls. They have something else now for that. So now it's not 4 anymore, now it's 6 or 7, who knows what they are. The point is, if I want to throw everything under the bus and throw everything away, I can. It's not hard. It's really not hard. It's only because I have emunah, I have trust in what I was taught, that everything is right, that this book is right, that when something comes to contradict this book, I reject the other book. That's all. But I have no real proof. You have no proof of what you believe. That's why we call belief. We have no real proof.
There's a lot of very modern stuff going on in this.
A lot of modern stuff. That's what I'm saying.
About psychology.
Right, 100%. 100%.
Dynamics.
100%.
Revisionism in history where you...
Yeah.
That's where this is where revisionism comes from, because we're denying logically what was going on. So here, again, let's assume for 1 second. I'm going to go on the Epicurus train here. Okay, the Epicurus means a non-believing train. I'm going to become a die in the world atheist. Okay, atheist. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything anymore. Good, they win. Rabbi Neville doesn't believe in this stuff. Great. So now God says to me, that's fine. Of course, God doesn't exist. God says to me, that's fine. You don't have to believe in me. It's tremendous. Go for it. Go on your ways. Be a nice man. Go on your ways. I just have something to give you. Here's a book. Boom. Here's a book. Read the book. And if you find something wrong with it, throw it out. Throw it out. It's worthless. But if everything is true, if you can't disprove it, by the way, disproof does just because I can't find evidence of something doesn't mean it didn't happen. It has to be. You have to really disprove it. So if you can find something that's wrong with what I'm saying, namely, you walk away from me, bad things happen to you. You walk with me, good things happen to you. Simple equation. If you find that to be wrong, throw it away. If you don't, I think you should pay attention. Again, don't believe in me. Who am I? I'm only the creator. Don't worry about that. You don't believe in me. Fine. But again, I gave you directions of how to run the system. All I do is listen. Use your common sense. I gave you common sense. I did that for you. You can reject me. I'm your parent. That's not a problem. Every parent gets rejected at one stage in their life or the other until finally the kid says, oh, my parents are so smart. There's no child that I've ever seen that said, yeah, I thought my parents were ignorant and I was right. I've never seen that. I've always seen they were not schooled. They weren't anything. They were so smart. Right. Some of them, when you get older and older and older, you hear that story over and over again. It's like, guys, give me a break already. I know your parents are stupid, but really they're not. Blah, 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 blah. Fine. But that's really what's going on here. God's saying, you can reject me, but Shema Likoli. Listen to the logic. You see it happening over and over and over again. When are you going to wake up that there's a system in place here? And all you have to do, I can only do it so often until I, quote unquote, get angry with you. That's it. And when I get angry, so that means I'm going to step away. Going to let nature take its course. You're going to cry to me. I'm going to come back. And I'm going to save you again. Then you're going to go away. And then I'm going to cry. Again, how many times can we do the dance? Oh, well, I'll do it as many times as you need. But when are you going to Shalama Likoli? Never mind Bikoli. Bikoli you don't accept anymore. Because you don't have a record of that. You decided you don't need me. Fine. Likoli. Logic. That's what he's saying. So it's a very beautiful thing, no?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But let me be an Epicurus for a minute.
Epicurus.
Epicurus.
Epicurus means you want to eat a lot of food. Go ahead.
That's good too.
Go ahead.
What about all those times I followed God and things did not go well for me? And I had all
Go
kinds
well
of
for
hardship.
you as the individual?
And for my family and for my countrymen, etc. And yet I look at these other people who are not following you and they seem to be doing so well.
Okay. So if some Epicurus is actually going to ask me that, which I would be happy by the way they did, I would say it like this. First of all, you don't know what you did to do. You said things that happened to you that were you don't consider good.
Yeah, they're evil.
Again, you don't.
Disease
No. You don't. You don't consider good. Remember that. You don't consider it. I have to emphasize. We don't consider it good. Fine. It doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't mean it's not good. When you punish your child, which whatever punishment you're going to give, that child sees that punishment as bad. Mm-hmm. But in the end, the child understands that it was really for their benefit that they were punished. They really understand. Assuming you're not a vindictive person who wants to hurt their kids. A normal parent who will punish a child is doing it to teach them that this was incorrect, what they did, and they have to change. The children will grow up saying, wow, Baruch Hashem, I have good parents, or whatever their language would be. Because they'll say, if not for them, I would have been A, B, and C. So we all recognize that sometimes we have to go through tribulations in order to grow correctly. If I see, in the old days when the baby was born, they used to swaddle, what's it called, swaddle the baby to make the bones
Make them straight.
Because they said if I'm gentle on the body, then he's going to be crippled. So they had to straighten the body. It's a whole Gemara. Can I do it on Shabbos or not? Okay, it's a whole Gemara, and it's in Shabbos, the Gemara Shabbos. Can I swallow the baby? And can I straighten the bones up? So again, it's painful. It's painful for a child. You still have to go through it if you want to walk normally at the end of the game. So that's number one. We have to understand that many times our tribulations are what make us grow stronger and straighter, and we need that in order to get somewhere. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we also don't know if we may not want to recognize that we did something wrong that is deserving of this pain. So on one pain, again, I may need that just to grow properly. The other one is maybe I've done something, and I have to check myself out, by the way. What did I do that would be having such a punishment? Or tribulation, consequence, if you will, consequence. So what I do to get this consequence. And then, number three, the other thing is, maybe from my having this consequence, and I'm a tzaddik, I did nothing wrong. But maybe my punishment is helping out my generation. Maybe through my tribulations. And by the way, all this is talked about in Derech Hashem, Tuesday night course, it's true. Go online, Path of God, whatever I call it, Path of God, Derech Hashem. Look it online. We're going through this whole book, Bill's in the class. All these questions are answered. Am I right? Every one of these questions is answered to the person. Say, this is what has to happen. And ultimately, if the people are not deserving, even if the individual is, the individual can't be dragged along by the general public, just as when I walk into, this is my thing, not the Derech Hashem, when I walk into a bar, even though I never smoked, then I walk out with smoke on me. If I go to a concert, a Dead concert, Grateful Dead concert, or any one of these other concerts where they have pot being smoked all over the place, you walk in, you go, whoa, okay? You may walk out high without ever smoking one of those, what do they call them?
Joints.
Joints, thank you. I was thinking of doobie, I couldn't remember going back to the old days. But whatever those things were, but you could easily get a buzz, high, some sort of thing from that when you're walking in. If you secondhand smoke, to use all, this is where the left loves me. Okay, where you walk into where you're in a place where it has everybody's smoking, you walk in and you get to secondhand smoke. What will they say? You can develop cancer. But I didn't smoke. Yeah, but you walked into secondhand smoke. So you're willing to admit that other things can affect you. So that answered your question too. So Mr. Apikoros, by your own language, you can be affected by other people's stuff. So really everybody is part and parcel of that, especially if you never spoke up. Did you ever speak up? That was another thing. Somebody is committing a crime, and what do? I don't see it. Nobody even picks up a lousy telephone to call up 911. What they do is they go like this, flip it, and take a picture. Well, don't do a favor, take a picture, call the cops, stop the crime. I remember one time my father was home. I forget why he was home. It must have been a Sunday. And somebody was chasing somebody on the street with a car and stopped it. It was a girl in the car, and the two guys came wanted to get the girl. And my father got to the door. He was 65 at that point, still good shape, 67 maybe. And he yelled, "Get away from her now!" So, and they were like, "Yeah, sure." He said, "Get me the telephone." He said, I'm calling the cops right now. And he, 911. Okay, there's some, they took off. He said, forget it, done. That's it. You have to stand up. You have to stand up. If you stand up, you're not part of the crime anymore. But if you don't stand up, then God says you're part of this. You're part and parcel of it. Why is it that all the Jews were punished? I'm going to kill myself in the time, yeah. I figured. Why is it that all the Jews were punished for the golden calf? Look in the Torah. 3,000 Jews did it. Oh, 3,000 people. Even say they're Jews. Don't say they were the Erev Rav for a second. 3,000 out of 3 million people, and you're bothering me? What do I have to do with it? And God says forever we'll be punished for that. 3,000? What happened was we didn't say anything. When we don't say anything, you're complicit in the crime. So when everybody's speaking, not saying anything about, and I'll bring it back to the beginning of the conversation, when we all say nothing about ISIL, ISIS, blah, 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 we're all complicit in that crime. And we're all allowing that to happen. And God's saying to us, will you never shema likoli? Not bikoli. Bikoli means accept my commands, according to the Malvim. Likoli? Listen to the logic. Enough already. Speak out against it. Listen to me. Follow my law. The world will run better. We'll have to stop here. Sorry about that. 3 psukim, what I get to.
Thank you.
No problem.
What you were just talking about.
Yeah.
You know, you could. I was telling how modern this is about that slippery slope.
Right.
When you don't stand up, when you just let things slide.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm in here, but I'm not really smoking and drinking
Correct.
and cussing, but I'm around it. That slippery slope.
Uh-huh.
Here it is. You know, it's a perfect in verse 18.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, in verse 19.
Okay, what is that? Okay.
That they turned back.
Right.
Dealt more corruptly than their fathers.
Correct.
In following other gods, to serve them, to worship them. They left nothing undone. You know, all these little gentle steps.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That it's how dangerous that is to a person's soul.
Right. Okay.